Let's imagine you are looking underwater. A fish goes past you by the side, but you could only get a glimpse of it. You look towards it, but it is gone. A luscious, magnificent creature, gone just as swiftly as it arrived. All you needed was 180-degree angle vision. Well, we have what you might need. With today's side imaging fish finders, you can see anything, from mermaids to leviathans that pass by the side. With this wide a field of view, do you really need much more than that? I don't think so. With that, let's talk about the best side imaging fish finder. Number 3, Humminbird 409641 Helix 5 SI Fish Finder. If you enjoy a blast from the past, the Helix 5 SI is just what the doctor ordered. It obviously looks older, with a similar Humminbird shape with the screen and the buttons. You know what they look like by now. The device itself isn't very heavy for what it does, weighing a small 10 pounds. It is also not very big. The sonar it uses is Humminbird's own Dual Beam Plus, with side imaging and down imaging installed. The transducer that you get with this supports all of these types and also has a temperature sensor installed. Since it is connected externally, you also get a 6 meters long cable to add just a bit on top of the existing height. The standard depth that the transducer can scan is up to 1500 feet, while side imaging goes as far as 100 feet. How this works is that you can find all the groups of fish within your field of view in a flash and then use the regular sensor for better targeting. Plus, it does a really good job in shallow water. To get the dual beam effect, the transducer is able to transmit 2 different frequencies of sonar, either individually or simultaneously. The 200 kHz beam has a beam angle of 20 degrees, while the 83 kHz beam has an angle of 60 degrees. What this does is allow you to first scan larger swathes of the water for a sign of fish and then zero in on the selected prey. Number 2, Humminbird Helix 7 Chirp SI GPS G2 Combo. Next on this list is the Humminbird Helix 7. This looks much like the previous name on the list, but it looks much sassier. The look is much more polished and has a more modern feel than the 5th version. It has a screen that takes up much more of the space than anything else does in the middle. As usual, the buttons are placed on the top right corner while the power button is on the bottom right. Doesn't get more Humminbird than that, does it? Also, like them, you get a good chirp transducer to go along with it, which comes externally of course. The chirp sonar is capable of side imaging and down imaging, with an impressive range of 480 feet of imaging side by side. You can also get the Chirp Dual Beam Plus with Switchfire, which is, in simple words, the ability to project 2 different beams that have enhanced scanning abilities. This is achieved because of the ability to use 2 different frequencies, or 3 if you upgrade your transducer. Number 1, Humminbird 410210 Helix 5 Chirp GPS G2 Fish Finder. We start this list with the Humminbird Helix 5 G2. This fish finder looks like a digital camera of sorts, with a black plastic body. The screen takes up 70% of the front face of the device, while the buttons are concentrated on the upper right portion. The largest button on the device is the directional buttons, which are on a ring. The sensor on this is the Helix 5 Chirp G2 Dual Beam Plus sonar transducer. The sensor setup has a dual frequency capability with 183 kHz and 200 kHz. However, the device itself is capable of 50 kHz frequency as well. In addition to this, it uses a dual beam setup with beam angles of either 60 degrees or 20 degrees. These form the basic mid-chirp and high-chirp frequencies. Using this enables you to find groups of fish first and then target individual ones.